Hello, students. Good afternoon. I'm Jasmeet Kaur. Today, we are going to start with the third topic of Cognitive Processes Unit, and the name of the topic is Learning. Learning. Learning is one of the most important quality of a human being. See, whatever we are today, that is just because we are in the learning process. Since childhood till now, we are learning something new day by day. So that means one of the most important quality of a human being is their capacity to learn. Why? Because we have brain. With the help of our brain, we can learn new skills, we can learn different languages, on the basis of that we can speak with the people, our different communication skills, attitudes, belief systems, our knowledge, personality, different customs. So, everything, whatever we are having in our behavior, that is just because of on the basis of learning. It is by learning that human behavior undergoes some modification. So that means whenever we are going to learn something new in our life, because of that learning, that is going to change our behavior. So overall, if I'm just going to ask one question from all of you, that let's say that you don't know how to drive a car. I'm just like just imagine, for I know it may be that some of you may know how to drive a car, but just imagine for some time that you don't know how to drive a car. And if I am going to ask this question from all of you, that do you know how to drive a car, then definitely your answer will be no. Now, next day, you just went to the driving school and you started learning how to drive a car. Now, you are just practicing for 1 or 2 days, and then again, if I am going to ask the same question from you, that do you know how to drive a car, now your answer is going to change a bit. The first answer was no. Now the second answer will be, though I don't know, but I am learning that thing. Now, for the same skill, you are practicing for more than 1 month, and now you know very well how to drive a car. After 1 or 2 months, if I ask the same question from all of you, then definitely now you will answer me, yes, ma'am, we know how to drive a car. So that means this shows a confidence in your behavior, because now you are well aware about the driving skills. So that means in your behavior, initial behavior, there was no driving skill in that, but now after 1 or 2 month practice, you know very well how to drive a car. So that means this is called behavior modification. Now we are going to talk about the definition of learning. It can be defined as relatively permanent change in the behavior that occurs due to practice or experience. So this definition has three elements basically. First, it can be defined as a change in behavior. That change in behavior may be for better or worse. Just now I discussed about this thing, that whenever you are going to learn anything, that thing is going to change your behavior. And it doesn't mean that whenever we are going to learn anything, that is only for the betterment. Sometimes we adopt some practices in our behavior, that maybe that is going to change your behavior into the negative one. For example, some habits like drinking alcohol or chain smoking, all these are the also learning habits, learning, but these are for the worse. Then how this learning takes place? This learning takes place only when you are going to do some practices. So that means this learning is based upon your practices or experiences. So before we are going to say our learning is permanent learning, it should be relatively permanent. For example, I am going to give you the same example. After 2 or 3 days practice for anything, you cannot say that yes, you have learned that thing. No, That is the only temporary change that is coming in your behavior. But yes, you can say that particular thing in learning when when you are going to practice a lot about that particular skill, and it is going to change your behavior in a permanent form. Here I'm going to give you an example for to understand it in a better way. Learning of nursing profession. The nurse who is learning a new nursing procedure that is growing in experience and thereby is the modifying her behavior. So whenever in your nursing profession you are going to learn any nursing procedure, first of all, when your teacher they just give you demonstration, they will give you theoretical knowledge about that procedure, then they are going to give the demonstration about that particular procedure. At that time you are simply observing them, then you are going to copy that behavior, then you are going to again do re-demo for that, and then you are going to practice for that particular procedure for a certain period of time. And after practicing, after a particular period of time, you are going to be perfect in that skill. So that means whenever you are going to learn anything, the first step required, that is observation, then you are going to imitate that thing, then it requires a lot of practice, and after practice you will be able to learn that thing in a better way. So this is all about meaning and definition of learning. Now we are going to talk about types of learning. Types of learning, it is of three types mainly: motor learning, verbal learning, and problem solving learning. Motor learning means when we are learning something, and for that it requires some movements of your body. For example, to learn piano, cycling, gymnast, or any kind of sports activities or typing activities that require some body movements, such kind of practices are called as motor learning. Then the second is verbal learning. Verbal learning means, it's clear from its name, means with when we are going to learn some language skills so that we can express ourselves in front of the others, that kind of learning is called as verbal learning. Verbal learning does not include only that when I am saying something and I just whatever I want to say, I'm just going to pass the message. No, it is not limited only. Verbal learning means when I am going to say something to someone, the person in front of me should be able to understand that message also. And verbal learning includes verbal learning as well as non-verbal learning. That means it includes verbal and non-verbal. Sometime it requires the voice, sometime we are going to use gestures, postures, body language to pass some kinds of messages. And it also involves some signs, picture, words, figures, and voices, etc. Then the third type of learning is called as problem solving learning. Problem solving, it is clear from its name. Problem solving learning is that learning in which whenever we are going to face any kind of problem, for the solution of that problem, when we are going to you can say use certain methods so that we can solve our problem, so that is called as the problem solving learning. It's very simple. For the solution of any problem we are using different methods, and every method is not, sometime it may be that first method, second method, third method is not useful, but we are going to solve that problem in any way. So that means during the problem solving uh, process, whatever methods we are going to use, each method is going to teach us something in its own way. So such kind of learning is called as problem solving learning. Now, after discussing upon the types of learning, now we are going to talk about steps in learning. There are mainly 5 steps that are required in any learning processes, in which the first step is motivation, second is goal, barriers, search for appropriate solution, selection and practice of appropriate action. The first step of any learning procedure is motivation. Motivation means your inner energy, your inner force that is required. Means till the moment you are not having that inner energy inside you that yes, I want to learn in this thing in my life, there till then there will be no learning. So that means the first step required is motivation, that yes, it should come from inside you, that yes, I want to do something in my life. So that means this is called motivation. Now when this motivation comes in you, that yes, I really want to do something in my life, I really want to create something in my life, now you will move towards the second step, that is the goal. Now immediately whenever this thought arise in your mind that yes, I want to do something, I want to learn something in my life, then now decide, that is the second step, what exactly you want to do. That means make a plan, decide a goal. So now after making the goal that this is the exact thing that I want to do in my life, when you will start moving towards your goal, definitely the third step you are going to face some barriers. Barriers means obstacles. It's a normal thing that whenever we are going to do something in our life, we are going to face some obstacles. So when we are going to face some obstacles in our life, we are not going to stop ourselves that yes, I'm not able to do this thing, so I think I should change my goal, I don't have that enough energy to solve my problems. So that means you are not enough motivated. Whenever you are going to face some barriers, obstacles in your life, then you should move towards the fourth step, that is the search for appropriate solution. That means now you should try to find out that how how could I solve my problem, how can I solve my problem, these are the obstacles, these are the barriers in my life, how can I solve my problems. So that means search for appropriate solution. Now let's say that you just you are able to find out that yes, these are the steps, if I am going to use these steps, I'll be able to solve my problems and I'll be able to achieve my goal. Now select the appropriate solution and practice for that till the moment you are not able to achieve your goal. So that means whenever you are going to learn anything in your life, yes, the first step, that is motivation, means you must have enough energy inside you that yes, this is I am going to do something in my life. Then decide a goal, then definitely you are going to face some problems. Now try to solve the problems and then finally select the appropriate solution and do practice for that till the moment you are not able to achieve your goal. So this is about steps of learning. In the next class we are going to talk about laws and some theories. Take care.